Ahoy and welcome to this Narrowboat Adventure. This is day 5 of our big epic adventure. We're only doing a half day today because I have somewhere to be this afternoon. And you've already seen it. I'm going to a boat tubers barbecue, so that'll be exciting. So today we're coming from, not entirely sure where.
Cheddington.
Wasn't the lock Seabrook? We're coming from Cheddington and we're going to do 3 hours cruising up to Leighton Buzzard so I can get the train to Rugby, where we're going to have a lovely barbecue. Apparently one of the stretches of Canal is really low on water to the point where you can see the rocks on the sides, so that should be an adventure. Let's hope I make it to the barbecue. Right, let's go. Definitely fenny though. Great, so this is a pure and simple example of why boat life is always going to be slow. So this morning we had a 3-hour trip to get to Leighton Buzzard, which is where I'm going to be getting the train from. It's about 7 miles, I think. Don't hold me to that, I could be completely wrong. But we immediately, first thing before we even set off, ended up having a half an hour chat with our neighbour, which I don't regret at all. But we had left like, what, 2 hours more than we actually needed really to get there. And then we've gotten to the first lock and have been informed by the very attractive working boats behind us that the pound is empty of water. The one that we've been warned about being low on water is empty, and so we're going to be waiting at least an hour until we can get going again. So yeah, that's a pure and simple example of why it's always going to be slow. Things always come up like this. So you just have to not really be in a hurry to get anywhere. So I might be late to this barbecue, but I'll get there when I get there. Might walk. I think I'm going to have a look down and see this empty pound. So where the grass is here, that should be how far the water gets up to, and you'll see in the background a grounded boat, which is very unfortunate for the owner as they're stuck quite far out from the bank. So all of these little beachy bits on the side should be well under the water, and as you can see the water's gone down probably by a good 2 foot, which is why we couldn't get through here. It's really interesting to see what's actually underneath the waterline, like all these rocks. That's kind of interesting just to kind of actually see that there's good reason for us to paint the bottom of our boat, because these rocks are likely to come and scrape along the bottom, although many don't. We're going to jump straight into the next day here. Morning. Gorgeous day it was actually for cruising. Anyway, I'll pass it back to filming Jasmin now. Ahoy and welcome to this Narrowboat Adventure. This morning is the morning of day 6 technically, so you didn't see the end of day 5 because I had to go out to the YouTubers barbecue, and so my lovely partner, who's not keen on being filmed, finished the rest of the way. So we're just pottering off today. We're on the way into Leighton Buzzard. I don't know exactly where we were, and I don't know if it necessarily has a name because we are now in the deep country. But it's gorgeous and there's millions of ducks and the crayfishing has been very good. Anyways, let's go. Today's trip's only going to be 2 hours as well, as we have something to do this afternoon. And I'll be back with you probably tomorrow. Bye! As you can see in Leighton Buzzard, obviously there's a lot more boats because it's actually a place with a train station. Oh, it's a nice paint job.
It's your name as well.
Oh, well. Oh, and this boat company, so on the left you see all the 3 moored boats leaving a tiny gap. I don't know how a wide beam would get through here, but they've left a tiny gap. So that's actually a boat yard, and we saw tons of the boats from that rental company everywhere. Like, they'd rent them out for like 3-4 weeks and go for really quite far. More and more as we got to the countryside, actually, we saw holiday boats and we saw hardly any liveaboards. Oh, and lots of sheep this day. That was one of my favourite things about this day cruising, because there was just so many sheep. And particularly this field, the sheep were running around really like having a laugh. I kept trying to capture it, but as soon as I'd get my camera on, they'd stop running around. You can see a little bit at the end of this clip though. They do get a bit excited and run off. Oh, and they're always, like, cows and sheep always bending down and drinking out of the canal. I don't think that I'd have the balance to do that. Oh, and we finished today at the top of 3 Locks. There's a pub called the 3 Locks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm back, future editing Jasmin here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to join us again for another portion of the epic adventure, you can click subscribe down in the description. And if you would also like to, you can head on over to Facebook and follow me there. If you search This Narrowboat Adventure, I have a Patreon and I am sending out key rings and I've got all sorts of fun things in the works. And I also would like to do a big shout out to my lovely partner Sebastian for writing the music for the introduction and for any of the montage scenes that have musics. So whoop whoop, big up Sebastian. Yeah, great. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day and stay awesome. Bye.